Hey, I'm Big Meach, and this is a Big Meach Moment. Let's talk, children. Now, I'm about to say something that may piss you off. Definitely will start conversation, okay? But that's what this is supposed to do. It's supposed to start and activate conversation. Um, I get so sick and tired of every time strides are made within the LGBT community, particularly the LGBT community of color, black folks, black gay people. Every time that we make strides, we always have to deal with the fucking backlash of the power to the people children. And those of you who feel as though there is an agenda being pushed to emasculate the black man, y'all always want to throw that damn narrative out there. And I really believe that you do that just because you don't understand what the fuck is going on. Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union have decided to embrace their child and allow this boy to be who he is. Now, I get and I understand. Everybody's looking at, well, he's 12 years old. He don't know what he want to do. Why would you got to sit down here and do that? Let me tell you something. I knew that I was different at 5. Okay? Now, I didn't activate on it or whatever. I didn't have the language of it. I just knew that I was completely different from everybody else. Now, oftentimes, many of you who want to sit down and think that somebody's pushing something on people, y'all want to go straight to sex. Y'all thinking that, oh, they're going to let this boy do this. He's got nails on. He got crop tops on and this, that, and the other. That there, and whatever it is you have made up in your head, y'all have allowed that to become the narrative of something that you have nothing and don't know anything about. There is no different from encouraging their child to be who they are than from somebody who showed an interest in sports when they were young and you wanted to cultivate his talent for sports or for the piano or for singing or anything else. When a child shows who they are, it is a parent's responsibility to make sure that they nurture that child to full development. Now, I do not agree, and I don't think that they're doing this. I don't agree with anyone who advocates for children to have hormonal therapy or testosterone blockers or estrogen blockers if they're female to male. I don't agree with any kind of altering the body pre-puberty. Okay? Because the child has to go through what the body is going to go through at that particular time. And in that time, there may be a shift. There may be something we don't know exactly. However, what we have to do is allow the child to be who they are. Oftentimes, we hear this that we hear folks saying that we need to encourage the child, encourage the child, encourage the child. And usually those arguments work when it's something that you agree with. Again, if the child was involved in football or sports or whatever, y'all make sure y'all go out y'all goddamn way to make sure he got all the equipment he needs to get on the sports team, because that there is something I can stick my chest out about and be proud about. See, we have allowed this society and popular culture to tell us what we should be proud about and what we should not be proud about. And then everybody want to sit down here and say, you got the right to be you. You got the right to be you. Do you? Then you got this big ass butt. But why you got to put it out here for everybody to see? Because, number one, he's a public figure. He is a public figure. Now, we all know how paparazzi does. Paparazzi will sit down there and go find this stuff out. Paparazzi will sit down there. If they were to take the child out and carry it on to anybody's event, if they were to go to the store, if they were to do anything, it's going to be something. Secondly, he is not only a public figure, and Gabrielle being a public figure, he is a sports star. Y'all got mad at Magic Johnson because Magic Johnson embraced EJ. Okay? Y'all get upset when your heroes do stuff that you feel is unmanly, or you feel he's supposed to be a man, he should have stopped that. Honey, it ain't about stopping nothing because they have all these other children. I'm the firstborn of 4. There were 2 boys. My brother has passed on now. There were two boys. How is it that I'm the gay one, but yet my brother got all the accolades? He was a sports star. He was the one that embraced all that kind of stuff. He was the ladies' man. He was this. It was two of us, and we came from the same household. Huh? So don't give me all this old rhetoric and this bullshit that somebody's trying to push something on you. Just like they're trying to make it as normal as possible. It's got to start somewhere. Y'all just don't want to see it. Oh, that's a shame. He got him out there. They exploiting that child. Ain't nobody exploiting that child. Now, you may be uncomfortable. Because now I'm going to tell you what was exploiting for me. Because when the 5-year-old little boy who was, it was a book I called Little Boys Can Be Princesses Too. I thought that was a little too much because kids have imaginations and carrying on, and his innocence was being exploited. This child here is 12, he's pubescent. And puberty now, kids nowadays are not the 12 and 13-year-olds that we once were. They've come out the womb half grown these days. So we have got to understand that their style of parenting, honey, is something that they have learned to accept, and it works for them. May not work for you in your household. That's fine. Everybody who want to say, well, you can't do that up under my roof for this, that, that's fine. But that's not going to change what the hell is going on. Because oftentimes, and I know back in my day, the kids who were trans and carrying on like that, they did one thing at home. Then as soon as they got out of the house, they did something else. How many of y'all sit up there, girls? I'm talking to you. How many of y'all jumped out the window with your miniskirts in your book bag and shit because your mom and daddy told you couldn't wear that out their goddamn house? But as soon as you got that motherfucking corner, you put your mini skirt on, you did your face and put your makeup on and shit, and then you had to take all that shit back off before you walked in that motherfucking door. So it's not like it's not going to happen. Okay? So we need to come off that, this is something that's going to be exploited because the child is going to do what they do. How is it that we have black men who have stood up and said, I'm going to love my child regardless? Now, we already know the CDC done told us that black men are the best fathers in the country, that black men take care of their children in a way that's unproportionate, is second to none. Nobody else take care of their kids like black men. So we have already dispelled the narrative of black men are not good fathers. So how is it that this black man who cannot, you don't want him to embrace his child and embrace what his child is going through? The child came up there and said, listen, we need to talk because there's something going on with me. Okay? How many of y'all are able to do that? Huh? Gay children, this is just being gay, not trans. A gay child that says that to their fathers when the kids get kicked out of their houses or whatever because you, the parent, don't know how to deal with it. You embarrass, that becomes your issue. It's not the child's issue, it's yours that y'all quote unquote trying to push on to somebody else because you saying that the LGBT is trying to push it on to you. No. What we have to do is understand that differences are there. We have to come to the table of understanding. And we also have to understand that folks need time to adjust and grieve. Because the ideas and stuff that you have put up in your head, what you thought your child was going to be, what you expected your child to be, is not going to be what it is. It's not going to be your reality. This is the baby's reality. This is the baby's life. Okay? Now, I done heard Ricky Smiley sit up there say, the parents, y'all got to sit there and help parameters. What did he say? Yeah, the kids like to eat candy, but you're not going to give your child candy all day. You have to put parameters. So my 12-year-old wouldn't have been wearing acrylic nails and crop tops and this, that, and the other. Child, stop. Because you don't know what was going on in that house for them to say that. And I know all the time we have those, and I just said it earlier, no, you're not going to wear that up out here. No, that's too short. You're not going to wear that. I don't care what the trend is. You're not going to do that. However, we don't know what's going on in that household for them to have accepted that. See, so we want to cast judgment and throw stones. We do not know what they say is acceptable and what is not in their household. Because trust me, honey, I know that Zaya had them pushed the envelope somewhere and got snatched up a couple of times. So they done found a happy medium that works for them. We may not like it, but that's what's going on in their house. And to sit down there and to put it on Front Street where they got to go out with their kids every day. And y'all the ones who sit up here got social media the way that it is. So in order for this not to become somebody else's narrative, see, that's the other thing. They are in control of their narrative. They don't have nobody telling that story for them. They don't have nobody else putting words in their mouth. You hear it directly from them. This is what we're going through. This is what we are experiencing. As a black household, that there is an imperative, because so many black folks don't know how to deal with this kind of subject. And not to mention trying to take it to the church or trying to take it everywhere else. We as a black people need to embrace this. Say how much you disagree with it, but learn how to embrace it and say, you know what? What can I learn from this? So that I could be a better somebody, a better parent, a better person, a better something. Even if I don't agree with it, I want to take the knowledge and say, okay, I'm out of eye with you. I still don't agree with it, but boom, I got you. And we're going to support you in protecting this child. Because see, again, y'all want to talk about that damn village. Where are you, village? Where are you, village? Because somebody is doing something that you don't agree with in raising their children. Huh? What is this? How many of y'all have got to the point where you married that man your mom and your daddy told you not to marry? How many of y'all got that girl that daddy told you wasn't no motherfucking good, she was a hoe, but you married her anyway? See, how many times have you disappointed your parents, but yet you came out and you lived the life that you want to live? Because it was in you to do. This was your life and your journey. Huh? Think about that for a minute, okay? I'm Big Meach, and this is my Big Meach Moment.